Welcome back to RPTV Weekly News. My name is Jabin and my co-hosts are Victoria, Kedar, and Fred. We present news that impacts on Regent Park and the surrounding areas.
In this episode, we present the following news for the week of June 19th through June 26th. Report of Community Building Working Group meeting on June 6th. 51 Division Neighborhood Officers meet with Regent Park Safety Network and community members on June 14th.
Fight for social housing in Downtown East Community Rally and March on June 10th. Toronto City Council appoints TCHC CEO Sharma as Deputy City Manager, Development and Growth Services.
Fred Victor celebrates annual Fred's Walk 2023 at Daniel Spectrum on June 2nd. Food insecurity in downtown East communities has reached crisis levels. Interview with Allan Garden's Food Bank Director Paul Uytenbogaart.
Petition to deny request to amend the zoning bylaw to permit a tall building at 505 and 509 Parliament. Namariz Native Men's Residence celebrates annual traditional Pow Wow with drummers and dancers.
Walk with Amal happens in Regent Park as part of Luminato Festival 2023. 505 Dundas TTC service to be suspended due to Broadview station construction starting June 18th. Events and jobs in Regent Park community.
Report of Community Building Working Group meeting on June the 6th. The SDP Community Building Working Group is one of the 4 working groups of the Regent Park Social Development Plan, a community-wide initiative aimed at fostering unity among all the different residents, groups, stakeholders in the community. The goal of the Community Building Working Group is to create accessible, informal, and formal spaces, events, and groups that bring residents together by removing physical barriers. Build bridges between market and TCHC residents, as well as between residents and institutions and other agencies as well. The June 6, 2023 Community Building Working Group hybrid meeting was co-chaired by Regent Park resident Walid Kangali and Joe Klassen, the agency representative of the Yonge Street Mission. The first agenda item was Pride Month information about community members' concerns around homophobia and a possible event and workshop addressing homophobia. The second item was related to the planning meeting of Sunday in the Park. The meeting moved on to Evaluation Champions update and important information about the Parliament Street Library Youth Hub.
My name's Clara, and I am one of the Youth Hub librarians at the Parliament Street branch of the Toronto Public Library. We're located right at the corner of Parliament and Gerrard. And our Youth Hub is an primarily after-school space for teens, though we are open all throughout the summer. We're open 3:30 to 7, Monday to Friday. And we're basically just a space that they can come, hang out with their friends, play some video games, do some arts and crafts. We give out free snacks, provide free color printing. We get a lot of, especially this time of year, we've had quite a few people coming in to print off like school assignments and resumes as they're hunting for summer jobs and so on. But we do a couple of programs every week, usually some sort of gaming thing, some kind of like craft or arts and crafts kind of setup as well. But I'm, as also you said, it is simply one part of what we do here. I'm happy to answer any questions about the other parts of the library as well.
The meeting continued with a call out to new groups and grassroots organizations and information about the coming rezoning application City Council meeting on June the 22nd. Finally, the Community Building Working Group meeting ended with an indoor and outdoor space needs report.
Friends, so I just want to let you folks know these are our space needs as per submissions made by 29 grassroots organizations. One submission was related to governance, making sure there was community governance of community space. In the application that's before City Council, specifically one of its community councils, is that there is mention to for 16,000 square foot. Imagine that. So what they're trying to approve is 16,000 square foot, which is not enough. As you've all heard, we require way more indoor space, and we also require outdoor space. So there's no commitment for it to be a central space for one. and that will be community governed in the application.
51 Division neighborhood officers meet with Regent Park Safety Network and community members on June 14th. Regent Park neighborhood officers from 51 Division held its second quarterly community meeting with Regent Park residents on June 14th, 2023, at 150 River Street to discuss neighborhood policing, crime statistics, and trends between April 1st and June 8th, police community projects, crime prevention, and other community concerns. Regent Park residents, safety advocates, members of the Regent Park Safety Network, and TCHC representatives were also present at the meeting. The discussion was moderated by Regent Park Neighborhood Community Officer Nigel Thomas and Sergeant Stephen McCrane, Neighborhood Community Officer Supervisor. Constable Nigel Thomas began the meeting knocking on wood and saying that overall everything is down in Regent Park, and it's been like that for a bit of time. Sergeant Stephen McCrane spoke about the major crime indicators in 2023, which some lower compared to 2022. The neighborhood had 27 assaults, 1 auto theft, 5 break and enter, 2 robberies, 2 sexual violations, and 1 theft over. At their presentation, police officers also answered questions and heard comments from Regent Park community members.
Overall, before we get into like trying to break down things here or anything like that, just say overall everything is down, okay, for this neighborhood, for this area, and it's been like that for a bit of time right now, okay? The only thing that we can see that's up there right now, and that's going to be in relation to the assaults, and then in conjunction with our crime analysts and everything, Sergeant and I spoke to them and we looked at ourselves too. And I think with it being up, the only thing that we can attribute it to is now that the pandemic has come to an end, there's more people out and about.
And the major crime indicators are quality of life issues for people. Those major crime indicators include assaults, auto thefts or break and enters, robberies, sexual violations, and theft over. So those major crime indicators is what the MCI stand for. So you'll see last year, 2022, there was 21 assaults at this time, and this year we're up 6 more.
So once again, it gives the Regent Park boundaries, and as I have said before too, that we do cover parts of Cabbagetown. So we go all the way over to Carleton, okay? And then we go, so Carleton to the north, and then we go Queen Street to the south, we go to Parliament to the west, and River to the east.
Fight for social housing in Downtown East, community rally and march on June 10th. Community organizations are fighting an epic battle against King Set Capital, who want to build a luxurious condo tower, 214 to 230 Sherbourne Properties. On Saturday, June 10th, social housing advocates, grassroots groups, and community organizations rallied at Dundas and Sherbourne Streets and marched on King Set's office to fight for affordable social housing in downtown East Toronto. Community leaders, advocates, and residents called Councillor Chris Moyes and the city to begin negotiations with King Set Capital to buy back 214-230 Sherbourne and build much needed social housing. There were speakers at the rally and meals were provided.
It's not safe for 230 Sherbourne to become a luxury condo. So whose safety do we really care about here? And so what we really, really desperately need is geared to income housing. And meanwhile, this piece of land is going to be for-profit luxury condos? No. And across the city, we hear about pilot projects and, quote, revitalization plans, which we know is code for social cleansing of poor people. Because you see, revitalizing is about restoring something to life. And the fact is, this neighborhood already had life. This neighborhood took care of each other. This neighborhood helped keep each other safe. This community worked to survive in the space and faces of oppressive institutions and systems. This community does not need revitalization. When condos went up in Regent Park, those, quote, mixed income units were not affordable to Regent Park residents. Those people are displaced. When condos go up and gentrification happens, poor and racialized people are increasingly criminalized and surveilled. They are targeted. They're not welcome in grocery stores like the Freshco at Parliament and Dundas because they seem unwell. And I know that I know that they don't want to be targeted. Maybe they think they're just doing, quote, legal business, and that's what they're allowed to do. But here's the thing, they are complicit, and absolutely complicit in the harm and displacement and violence towards poor people and unhoused people. And if they continue with this development, they will be complicit in the deaths and displacement and this isolation that this community will continue to experience.
Many of us has been here on this corner in front of the property, at City Hall, at Metro Hall, doing huge amount of advocacy work for over a decade to demand the expropriation of that property across the street for social housing. And in the midst of what is now a complete and utter housing crisis and disaster, we see that even City Council finally had to declare a state of emergency on homelessness. Expropriating this property would have been a huge and significant step in showing the commitment to building social housing, especially in this community where there is such deep need for supportive and ongoing social housing. But instead, the city only put forward an 11th hour bid to purchase, and we all know that the outcome of that has been that this has fallen into the hands of KingSett Capital, a billionaire real estate corporation that if you look on their website, they talk about how they're so proud that they work with so many high net worth clients. So we know that if they continue to go forward and get their hands on this and we can't get this expropriated, this will lead to greater gentrification, displacement, and many more deaths in our community.
We need to stand in solidarity with each other. We can't allow for greedy developers to get their way at City Hall. We cannot allow for definition, for policies to be written that gentrify, racialize Indigenous communities from the downtown core. We cannot let that stand. Okay, so I need your help. I need you to remind Councillor Moyes that it's his responsibility to stand with the residents of Regent Park and residents across the city of Toronto and reject that application to rezone without the proper definition of affordable housing.
Toronto City Council appoints TCHC CEO Jack Sharma as Deputy City Manager, Development and Growth Services. City Hall approved the appointment of Jack Sharma as Deputy City Manager, Development and Growth Services, effective August 14. Sharma will lead functions which include the City Planning, Housing Secretariat, and Toronto Building Divisions, as well as soon as to be established Development Review Division, with a mandate to build more housing faster. Jack Sharma took over as CEO of Toronto Community Housing Corporation in August 2021. He is leaving after less than 2 years in the role.
Petition to deny request to amend the zoning bylaw to permit a tall building at 505 to 509 Parliament. The petition, organized by Cabbagetown resident Giles Hua on Change.org, opposing condo proposal at 505 to 509 Parliament Street, has attracted 1,156 signatures by Thursday, June 15th. This petition is to the City of Toronto Planning Department and to Chris Moyes, Councillor of Ward 13, Toronto Centre, to deny the request to amend the zoning bylaw submitted by Streetwise Properties, Inc. This proposal is requesting multiple bylaw zoning amendments for a 10-story mid-rise mixed-use building with retail at Grand and 86 dwelling units at 505, 507, 509 Parliament Street. The applicant is proposing a building height of 36.6 meters, which is nearly double the length of the Parliament Street public right-of-way. Area residents and businesses are concerned about the visual and physical size, scale, design, and lengthy construction of the proposed development and the resulting impact on the safety and quality of life of pedestrians, patrons, and residents in the surrounding area.
Food insecurity in the downtown east communities has reached crisis levels. Interview with Allan Gardens Food and Bank Director Paul Uytenbogaart. Since the pandemic, the demand for food banks and meal programs in the city has spiked. Household food insecurity continues to be an urgent issue among downtown East communities, and local food banks are seeing that firsthand. For the past year, the Allan Gardens Food Bank that operates at St. Luke's United Church near Sherbourne and Carlton Street, distributing food to people in need on Thursday and Friday afternoons, has seen a month-over-month increase of clients for the most vulnerable and high-density neighborhoods in Toronto, including refugees, those experiencing homelessness, and the working poor. Allan Gardens Food Bank Director Paul tells RPTV News that the demand for food in the downtown core has increased in record numbers this year compared to the year before the pandemic. He says that the rise is mainly being driven by inflation and the increasing cost of living for rent and food.
My name is Gabriel Meissner, and I'm with RPTV News. Today I'm at the Allan Gardens Food Bank. Sir, can you tell me about yourself?
Hello, my name is Paul Uytenbogaart. I'm a volunteer director here at the food bank. We're located at 353 Sherbourne Street, just at the intersection of Carlton and Sherbourne. We operate this food bank Thursday and Friday, 12:30 till 3 p.m.
Have you seen a rise in food insecurity since COVID-19?
Absolutely. Prior to the pandemic, our statistics for 2019, like the late fall, early winter of 2019, we were serving 165 people during those 2 days of service, Thursday and Friday. 165 a day on 2 days, each day rather. And now, March, presently we're doing 1,100 a week, so 500, 550 per day on the Thursday and the Friday.
What do you think caused this spike?
Well, obviously the pandemic hit the city hard in terms of people working and the cost of food. But I think, quite frankly, people's incomes are not keeping pace with their expenses. We've got a significant number of people who use the food bank who are in the category of the working poor. They have a job, but when they pay the rent, they pay their phone, their TTC pass, what have you. They don't have money for groceries, particularly to last the course of a month. Similarly, people who are on one form of assistance or another, OW, ODSP, those people to essentially pay for their rent, maybe a TTC pass, money's gone. They're here every week for the duration of the month. The food bank is critically important. A lot of people who are living right here on Bleecker Street, and many elderly people are here. Again, pensions don't cover the food they need in a month. And so a lot of people are in this immediate area, but we're getting people are coming from as far away as Scarborough, etc. Out in the West End, they're coming here because some of the food banks that might be closer to their home have shut down, because it gets to a point where it's just not sustainable. We're concerned, like, how long can we maintain serving this increasingly growing number of people in the community? From 165 a day to 550 a day? We're going to have to draw the line sometime. Food insecurity conversations always come back to a livable income. A livable income and affordable housing means people can have a job or keep a job and be able to afford food. Just, continually, dare I say, throwing money at food banks, I don't know if that's a solution. I heard one candidate say that she's interested in having the city portion off some dollar amount to provide additional financial support for grassroots charitable food banks, perhaps like us. That would be a start.
How is this place funded?
We rely entirely on donations. We're a charity, but we did not get any, to date we have not had any funding from either level of government, city province or the feds. Now, the federal government has forwarded money to the food banks, agencies, the large umbrella organizations, and ultimately it does trickle down. But as an independent charity ourselves, we have to rely on funding ourselves, which has not been made available to us. Thank goodness there are corporate organizations that have been quite generous and have helped us keep alive. Without them, I don't know if we would have survived. Information about our donors is on our website and so forth.
Wow.
And, we have people too who just say they live in a co-op. They might have a food drive. A grocery store might have a food drive. We had a food box when the new councillor for Toronto Centre, Chris Moyes, had his office opening. We had a box rather, and people were dropping off food. So it depends. Some of our donors can afford more and will give us cash, and other people will give us kind in food. We do get food from Daily Bread Food Bank on Thursday. Bring us 12, 15 skids of food. And on Friday, Second Harvest brings us more food by the weight, 1,000, maybe 1,200, 1,500 pounds of food. So we're getting food that way. Still, it's we run out. So then we're having to go into our own pockets, our own bank account rather, to buy food and protein in particular. We need tuna, we need to buy yogurt, we have to buy bread sometimes, we have to get eggs sometimes, hot dogs, wieners, We stay focused on ensuring that the food we're offering here is nutritious and balanced diet as much as we're able to, and that everybody who walks through that door walks away with food for 2 to 3 days. They need to obviously rely on other food banks and other resources in order to get by. This church, for instance, has a dinner on Sunday night and Wednesday night, so people who will get food here will also come here and get a dinner, perhaps.
What keeps you here?
Well, I'm here in large part because I'm grateful that I have 3 meals a day, that I have a roof over my head, that I have health care, that my wife, our sons and our grandsons, we're all fed, we're all healthy and happy, employed, etc. Many people aren't in the city, and they need a hand. So I'm just one of, 4 or 5 dozen people who work here every Thursday and Friday right throughout the pandemic because they feel an obligation to the community to help those in need. This is all about people who have the need.
Does all of this work pay off to you in some way?
It pays off for me personally, let me say on perhaps a spiritual level, because I'm fulfilling a significant need within the community, and that's who I am. So I'm good with it. I am discouraged that after the efforts of all of us here, the numbers are just getting worse. The situation is not improving, and how do people endure that? I don't know. All my work is for nothing because now there's more people coming through the door. I don't know how everybody deals with that.
Fred Victor celebrates annual Fred's Walk 2023 fundraising on June 2nd. Fred Victor's social charitable organization celebrated their 8th annual Fred's Walk on June 2nd, 2023. Hundreds of people walked to wage war on homelessness. Their annual walk has grown into a well-attended community event which unites charitable citizens who want to help. Fred's Walk is a 10-kilometer guided tour of Fred Victor's downtown sites and a glimpse into the causes and effects of homelessness and poverty. Much of Fred Victor's infrastructure is too widespread to be easily viewed on a walking tour in the area between Yonge and Sherbourne from Front Street to Gerrard. Inside the auditorium at Daniel Spectrum, the event began with land acknowledgement and opening remarks by Michelle Erskine, Vice Chair and CEO of Outfront Canada, and Keith Hambley, CEO of Fred Victor. Happily, Fred's Walk surpassed their goal and raised over $200,000. The funds raised at Fred's Walk 2023 will go into our life savings programming, which supports over 3,000 people every day. RPTV was the event to interview community members.
So Michelle Erskine, I'm Vice Chair of the Board of Fred Victor, and really pleased to be here with Keith.
Hi, my name is Keith Hambley. I'm the CEO at Fred Victor, and equally thrilled to be here this afternoon.
It's my 6th year doing the walk with my team, and what I like is that every year we walk around different sites that have to do with the great work that Fred Victor does in the city and learn about the complexity and all the different things that they do to try and overcome homelessness in Toronto. It's inspiring and it's fun at the same time.
I'm just thrilled that we have almost 300 people walking today in over 20 groups of our community partners, our donor partners, and each and every one of them is here because of our goal is to end homelessness here in the city of Toronto. And we provide housing, shelter, case management services, food security services in over 20 locations, including Regent Park, here in Regent Park. And we're so thrilled that we have so many people here today are giving of their time and their resources to make a difference in a person's life.
I think it's a combination of fundraising and education, so they do a great job of giving us an event that we can use to try and drive funds, but also to learn more about the issues around homelessness and getting to know Fred Victor. I was going to do a plug for Taste of Regent Park, if that's okay. So coming up in the summer is Taste of Regent Park. I know I've been a couple times last year, looking forward to this year, and I think it's right across the street. It's fantastic, and I love seeing the community come out and the great food.
Exactly. I think one of the biggest reasons why we do this event, Taste of Regent Park, and Street Eats as well, which is coming this summer, is to raise awareness in the broader public across the city of Toronto of the issues of homelessness, the need to have a home for everyone who is homeless in this city of Toronto. We're raising awareness one individual at a time, one group or one partner at a time to make a difference not only with Fred Victor but even in their own communities to make sure homelessness is addressed.
For me anyway, I love coming into Regent Park because I think that people might have a misconception. I've been in here for Taste of Regent Park and just couldn't believe that it's such a warm community, such an active community. So that's a wonderful thing for people to know.
I think it's exactly that, the warmth of the community. This is a very vibrant, revitalized community since the redevelopment that has taken place over the past number of years. And I see an amazing difference in people's outlook and attitude, as well as the opportunities that exist at a very grassroots level in this community. And we're here to help support that, encourage that, and build the capacity of the Regent Park community.
Hello, my name is Ashrafi, and we're really glad. So Fred's Walk came to visit our site, Audio, and I'm the garden and food coordinator, and we really love to share our program update and what we're doing. And we're really glad now you all are here to celebrating our great work. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ibrahim. I'm the Events and Volunteer Coordinator. I was with Ashrafi at the 40 Oak location. This location is actually the prime location in my opinion because it's home to Regent Park. And right now we are located at Daniel Spectrum celebrating the hard-earned fundraising that happened all this month. This event is actually one of the good events that people go to see the different locations that Fred Victor has and the work that happens in each location and how all of that supports people who are homeless or people who are in poverty. So thank you very much for coming to Regent Park and for doing all this fundraising for people who really need it.
Walk with Amal happens in Regent Park as part of Luminato Festival Toronto 2023. Little Amal walked through the Regent Park community on June 8, 2023. Amal is a 12-foot puppet of a 10-year-old Syrian refugee who has traveled through 13 countries to 90 cities across the world. She stopped by the athletic grounds and walked north to Regent Park. She also learned about residential schools and Every Child Matters.
What if we take the children and teach the children how to forget their traditional ways? We teach the children to stop taking care of the land and to not worry about their responsibilities. And so they created schools for that very purpose. They created Indian residential schools where they took the children and taught them to forget who they were. taught them to forget their traditional teachings.
Walk with Amal event was supported by Justice Fund, Daniels Corporation, MLSE Launchpad, and Toronto FC.
Namarez Native Men's Residence celebrates annual traditional Pow Wow with drummers and dancers. In recognition of Indigenous Peoples Month, Namarez Native Men's Residence hosted the annual traditional Pow Wow at Fort York. The event featured a full day of dancing, drumming, and performances. Everyone was welcome to experience the richness of Indigenous traditions and join in the festival.
Beautiful dance of unity and friendship. This is the round dance. From our old timers that we call war dance. And from war dances, it kind of grew into what you're going to see here today is what we call smoke dance. Ahoo!
Attendees were also able to browse various crafts and food vendors. Namarez is a community organization that provides outreach, temporary, transitional, permanent housing, and much more.
505 Dundas TTC service to be suspended due to Broadview station construction starting June 18th, 2023. Starting June 18th, 2023, the 504/304 King and 505 Dundas service will be suspended due to the track renewal along Broadview Avenue, north of Gerrard Street East. Service will not operate between King and Parliament Streets and Broadview Station until early fall 2023.
And now, for events and job opportunities in the Regent Park community. The Culture Bazaar is back. The event is happening every Friday from June 23rd to October the 13th. Shop locally and support artists and designers at Dundas Street East from 4 to 9 p.m. Admission is free. There will be live music, henna, multicultural food, popcorn, and cotton candy, artisanal products, and more. Cash accepted at all the booths. For more information, you can contact Soraya at tccld.org. The event is brought by Center of Learning and Development, Mothers of Peace, and the City of Toronto. Regent Park Film Festival are bringing Under the Stars back to the park this summer, 2023. Join RPFF at Regent Park every Wednesday from July the 5th to the 19th for an incredible lineup of free films. It'll be a night filled with exciting activities and everyone's favorite delicious food. For more information, please visit www.rpff.ca. TCHC and Tridel call all small business owners in Regent Park. Are you a Regent Park resident with a small business? Do you offer catering, photography, create handmade goods, or other goods and services? Join their small business directory and get connected to business opportunities in the community. If you have any questions, email csr@tridel.com. Downtown East residents. Grant application may apply for up to $8,000 by July the 27th, 2023. At 12 p.m., a community or a resident-led group based in the Downtown East is eligible for this grant. Please contact the Trustee Hub at trustee.hub@tngcs.org for more information. And that's all for today's show, folks. My name is Kedar, and my co-hosts are Jabin, Victoria, and Fred. We'll see you next week.
Don't forget to like, comment, share.
share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And please follow our social media platforms. For more information, check out our website.